Hello, everyone. We are now back in business. Welcome back to Amani's Abyssal Lounge. And I may be a little more, you know, excited for this episode because y'all, I have a wonderful special guest this time around. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the real Moist Critical. Anyway, I just shit my doo-doo ass. Hey, anyway, that's about it. See ya. I'm sorry.
I knew you were going.
I saw the opportunity and I had to take it.
I'm not even mad at you for doing it. That was fucking gold.
I'm Aussie. I'm Aussie. My handle is auzziejlee, or you can just call me Austin. I'm a content creator, cosplayer, gamer. All of them being derogatory. So that's just the life I chose.
First of all, if you have not seen fucking Austin pop up on your fucking TikTok or Instagram feed, bitch, where the fuck have you been? Cause
Oh no, don't worry about that. Sometimes I will post like absolute like madhouse nonsense to the point where you'll actually think I need to be institutionalized. Like the less the better, it's fine.
But that's what makes it funny though, because it's like, oh, I'm posting this really cool meme, and now I'm posting this fucking brain melt, brain rot, cringe.
Literally. That is basically what it is.
Oh my god. So y'all, today we got us a good fucking episode today, y'all. We is about to key about all things cosplay community, just Austin's just fucking lore. Basically, this man has been doing this shit for a long fucking time. Just to let y'all know, this person has basked in the glory of Jessica Nigiri multiple times. Like they are actually like acquainted, friends even. And that shit makes me want to like throw up sometimes because oh my god, I fucking love Jessica Nigiri. And
she's really chill. She's honestly like if you see her, like I'm gonna bat for her for a little bit. I love Jessica I love Jessica to death. But if you see her at a con, or if you just like happen to run into her, like say hi. She's very chill like that.
Oh, I'm going to. Don't worry. And she is the person
she's a lot of fun to be around.
She's so fucking funny. Like my lore with Jessica is I found out about her through Rooster Teeth.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Deep fucking lore. And I didn't even know that Jess was Cinder's voice actress until she started to do Barbara Dunkelman's podcast. Like she was a guest on her podcast. And I was like, well, why does this lady voice sound so fucking familiar? And I started doing research and I was like, she voices Cinder in Ruby? What the fuck? And I just fell down the rabbit hole. And like I know a lot of people knew her because again, she's the pioneer of like US based cosplaying. Like she is the girl that you would see everywhere. But I didn't know her because unlike nowadays, I had limited internet access and I couldn't be all over the internet and all over YouTube and stuff, or I would get in trouble.
That's actually like I actually like I think there's like actually a really good like opportunity to talk about how different cons were back in those days because that was genuinely a different era of like con going, really? And like you can literally mark like some of the changes of the cosplay community and like the con scene like after like Jessica's like exposure like through the internet, because because like don't get me wrong, like there were definitely there's a lot of ancient history like beyond like old like San Diego Comic-Con and whatnot, because like it was definitely like
NASCAR.
there's a lot of places to go around, but you can definitely feel like a shift in the culture like kind of like coming in when she arrived. And it was like, man, because like I knew her from this one YouTuber back in the day named Kasim G. Like I don't know if y'all are like old enough to remember, but he used to have this like YouTube series where he would just go around doing public interviews like with people at
I
like
know
it's this thing
exactly what
called
you're talking about.
Comic Con. No, it was called California on Comic Con. And I think that was when like she really started making the rounds on the internet, because Kasim G back then was one of the most like top subscribed YouTubers like at this time in early YouTube.
Literally,
Like,
cause
yeah,
like
because
her,
like this
Raina
was like
Scully,
OG
yeah, like
Smosh.
Raina Scully,
Yeah,
like all of
yeah, it
those.
was OG Smosh.
Oh
It
my
was it
god,
was like like Ryan Higa and like the crew. Like
yeah,
that was like the era
holy
where she really
shit.
made her like rounds like at first, and then yeah. And also like you can literally like tell how like different like cons have become like over the years, like when you watch those videos, because it's like, because you can already tell like the demographic has changed a lot too, because
Right.
like you can like there's like once I don't know, there's so many more people that are into like the scene, and it's like really beautiful to see like how much it's like evolved
And
over time.
there's also a lot of more people of different age ranges. Like back in the day, it was very much so un like it was an older crowd. Like it was the older, nerds who got to be able to buy DVDs and the Blu-rays and stuff like that.
Like
But
this was when
now,
Reddit was more acceptable actually.
right.
Like
But
that sounds like a meme, but Reddit was unironically like looked upon. Like Reddit forums, Reddit's and other forums and such were actually looked upon as like a pretty net positive thing, and like a very normalized like part of like internet discussion around those eras like too.
right.
So it's like, yeah, this was like way before like TikTok era, or this was way before Instagram era,
But like always, the
like
kids come
cosplay.
in and ruin everything.
I don't want to be too harsh on the kids, because it's like once like obviously like kids do kind of, don't get me wrong, like kids annoy me sometimes, but it's like, can you really blame them? It's like it's
Yeah,
kind of
like
it's
they're
kind of it's
children.
kind of part of the nature
Yeah, like
of
they're
like getting
children.
older, and you're just like you just can't really like
Like,
keep up with
wow, I
like
was
kids
cringe as
anymore.
fuck. Like,
Like you just
like
can't
that's
keep
kind of the
you
whole
realize that
thing.
once you get older, you just kind of realize you can't keep up as much. You can't keep up like the same energy that you used to, and it's like it's
Yeah.
frustrating to not be able to get some of these things. Or it's just like, what are these people saying to me? Like, are they
No,
like it's just a
actually.
meme or something? Like I still struggle with that a lot, especially now. Like especially now, like in 2 months I'm turning 30, dude. So it's
Right.
like like yeah, it's it's like I swear like every week I get jump scared by like new lingo, and it's just
And
like,
you're
oh
like, what
wow.
the fuck are y'all talking about? Like,
Okay, so when I only just learned what like SYBAU meant, like
what the
shut
fuck is that?
like shut your bitch ass up. Like
Oh,
it's the abbreviation for shut your bitch ass up. I
say
didn't
shut your
know
bitch
this.
ass up.
I didn't know that that was what it abbreviated to.
I didn't
I
know
thought
they had an
someone
abbreviation for that anymore.
I thought someone called me like a brand new slur or something, like on like from like League of Legends that someone made up. Like I was so shocked at what they were
What in
saying.
the
So I was
fuck?
like, I didn't want to say anything, because I also wasn't sure like what it meant. But then when someone just said it just meant shut your bitch ass up, I was, what?
That's
Then why didn't you just say it? Like
just
I'm not gonna
say
get
it.
mad about this. Like that's
No,
funny.
literally, that's so fucking funny.
But
And
it's
like,
caught on, so you can't really like do much about
no,
that.
literally, because even for me, like, I have a young niece. Like, I have a young niece. Like, I ain't no spring chicken either. We are very
We're
close in age, and
yeah.
like, for me, I realized like maybe 2 years ago that I was like, oh baby, I done fell out of this shit. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Like all of the skibidi toilets and the risen and all that shit. I was like, y'all making me sound like an old ass bitch. What the fuck is when I found out what Riz was, I was like, so swag? Like what are we talking
That's
about?
such a funny way to phrase it, but it's true. But
Like
then you
that's
also you also have to realize too that so much like internet lingo is actually like really does like originate from like black culture. So it's like you just
yes.
see like when you see it coming from like a bunch of like white or Asian kids, it's like, what are you
What the
saying?
fuck? And I
And then when
try
you
not to be like
realize it,
this
it's like,
because
wait, you're just repackaging this shit.
no,
What is going on?
literally. And I try not to be like that, but as someone who is blacker than black, I be looking, I be side eyeing sometimes. I just be like, do you know the origins of what you said? Like,
Remember
how did
when
that
remember when people were learning about lean? Like
child? Oh my fucking god!
yeah,
Now
that
that shit had me
especially.
fucking mad. Now I will say that is a situation that kind of had me mad
Like on Twitter,
because
that one guy was like, "Lean is drugs." I was like, "Yeah, what did
yes,
you think it
you
meant?"
dumbass. Like, and it's sad to say, I'm aging myself out a little bit, but I had people in middle school that were doing lean, like in class type shit. So I be trying to tell y'all, I was in the trenches. I was fighting for my fucking life when I was in school. But
Were we
they
all?
w- they would literally be making it like in the back of class, and I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? And they like, oh yeah, we making that motherfucking lean, and I'm like, so you mean like lean with it, rock with it, like that? Is that? And they're like, no. And when my friend explained it to me, I was like, oh, so drugs. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
basically.
Because I didn't even really know. I wasn't a sheltered kid, but I was very much so that kid that was. I am in the corner. I'm reading my book. I am trying to get my lesson. Please leave me the fuck alone. And I didn't really get out of my shell until like I was like in the eighth-ish grade going into high school.
Yeah.
But what the fuck y'all mean y'all making drugs in the back of this classroom? Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, huh? And then the teacher just sitting there at the desk, just chilling, just like looking. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be the person to get up and snitch and say that they're doing drugs in the back of class, bitch. That ain't. I'm staying the fuck out of the way. I want to go home and play the game. Like, but just seeing just how much like, and even when stuff comes back like online, like stuff that we used to say when we were younger, and then it resurfaces again, I'm like, girl, we've been saying this. Y'all are not original. Find something new to say. Like,
Time is a flat circle.
it really is.
Time
All
really
the
is a flat
squares make a
circle, but
circle,
oh my
girl.
god. Speaking of like things that are coming back, did you hear like have you I don't know if you've been scrolling TikTok lately, but Black Eyed Peas is kind of making somewhat of a comeback lately
I'ma
because of like
be on the
TikTok.
next level. I'ma be rocking
I'm gonna
over
be
that bass treble. Like,
that was shit I listened to in high school. Like, hello?
literally, I was in middle school when Black Eyed Peas was really blowing up. That's the crazy part. Like
Yeah,
my
I
little brother loved Pump It. Like that's one of his. He used to blast that song all weekend. When we would just be sitting at home doing nothing, he was always playing it on the TV. He was always motherfucking singing it. And I'm like, who is these people that you singing? And then I didn't really get into them until like I'm a Bee. Like that was my song.
yeah, I'm a
But
B.
like
That's like a
seeing them like trending again on TikTok and like on Instagram has been kind of whiplashy because I'm like, oh, I thought y'all didn't fuck with the Black Eyed Peas no more. You know what I'm
well,
saying? Like
how the turns table, you know,
how to turn the
or
fucking table,
whatever the fuck
whatever the
Confucius
fuck the
said.
kids be saying. Yeah.
Oh, how the turns of tables, Confucius probably.
Okay, so we are going to pivot into my wonderful segment, which is, and I know this is new to you, Austin, so I'm gonna explain it to you. It is Diminity. So it's like divinity, but like demon a T.
Yeah.
Really cute. And this is basically just a segment where we talk about current events in whether it's the world, politics, goddamn cosplay culture, VTuber culture, whatever the fuck we decide we want to talk about, we can talk about it. And
God,
so the thing that I
God,
came up with,
where do we? There's so much to choose.
there's so much to talk shit about. But what I was thinking was that we could talk about the Sarah Spaceman issue. Well, it's not even really drama, more so discourse. That's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely more discourse than anything because honestly, like, okay, for those of you who are lacking the context, so Sarah Spaceman's most like recent YouTube video about MomoCon having the worst cosplay contest like out there,
I was
like
there by the
where
way.
she basically like airs out her side of like the perspective of like how like MomoCon was run. But like there's been a lot of controversy like surrounding like the way that she approached like addressing these issues, and also just kind of like her own personal conduct like during these like during the judging as well. Like,
Right,
it's not to say that she did anything like fucking illegal or anything, but it was
right.
definitely just like kind of, it makes you kind of wonder like, I don't know
Uh,
about this one, or is this
yeah, I don't know
or is
about
this
this one,
maybe
King.
it's like maybe we should not be doing this.
Right. And so my experience with it was I watched it the day it dropped. I watched the video,
Yeah.
and from someone who has only knowing you as a cosplayer, I've never cosplayed myself. So I never say that I am in the cosplay community.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, at first, I didn't see anything wrong with the video until I started doing more research and I started to look at the comments and look at, other places that the video was going viral at, aka Twitter, because I'm not calling it X. You're crazy as fuck. Um,
That's the only time I find anything. That's the only time I will accept dead naming, by the way. Just calling it Twitter.
no,
Like,
literally.
Elon like can't even stop dead naming his own daughter. You think I give a shit about his platform?
No,
Like, come on now.
literally. Right, literally. And so when I was seeing the discourse about, how her behavior was, seen as really rude and really like kind of like how she was jumping over people basically. Um I started to, revamp my opinion and I watched the video again and I was like, okay, now I can see why people would be upset by this and why people would see this. Now, I will say that her response to all of the discourse has been seen pretty okay for most people. I don't know if you've
Eh,
seen it, but she
I
did
I
like
actually did respond to it personally. I actually feel like her response to it was yeah, she addressed like one of the issues, but not like one of
all
the
of
big,
them exactly.
but definitely kind of either missed the mark or just kind of like didn't address it because it just wasn't important enough to her.
Right.
Like, is like at the very least, because it's like, because like, yes, I think it was a good thing that she like, there were obviously the video I'm not like the biggest fan of, but also because like I feel like it was very like, I feel like it was very personally, I felt like it was very like one of those like Mr. Beast type videos where it was like where it
Right.
was just kind of like, like rage baiting. It was kind of like a
Yeah.
rage bait video, like, high key, especially with like the way that they like she framed a lot of her like the way that she was framing a lot of her like fellow like her fellow judges and like a lot of the
Right.
like staff that was obviously just like doing their like job essentially. And it's like, yeah, I'm not saying you're not allowed to like be frustrated about the way that things are turning out, especially if it's not like in a standard that you deem acceptable, but at the same time you have to like realize like, I think my problem with it specifically was it was just like, as someone who has like worked behind the scenes and also like as someone who's
I
done
was just
judging,
about to talk about
like,
that. Crazy.
you would never, like, the Justice League could not torture this information out of me that I openly admitted to yelling at people like during like deliberation,
Literally.
because, or like over a
Like
disagreement,
what the
like,
fuck?
even if you're saying that even if you're thinking even if you say that you're exaggerating it, it's like, I don't see how that makes it better, because it's like that's like the equivalent of a guy on Twitter saying, "Hey, I'm gonna like make people think I'm stupid by saying stupid shit," right? So when you say stupid shit, people are gonna think that you're stupid. So it's like,
Exactly.
I don't see how that's like a valid response by
And
just saying that
perception
you're
is reality.
exaggerating, you know?
Yeah,
It's
like
like,
perception
yeah.
is reality. So like, and it's exactly like you said, as someone who has been working conventions for a very long time, the biggest thing that I was seeing and what I was agreeing with was, well, if you see a problem with it, come volunteer. And I was like, child, clap it up for the girls because the girls are speaking fucking facts. The shit that we deal with behind the scenes trying to run a show is some of the most stressful, like anxiety inducing shit you will ever deal with, especially when you're working bigger conventions.
Oh yeah.
Like
There's
there's
such a huge margin of error.
there's such a like literally anything and everything goes wrong during these events. And what was even crazy, and I'm not going to go into details about it because some it was someone's mental health involved, and I'm not the type of person that is going to you know pl- try to platform off of someone else's mental health struggles. That's icky to me. But
Yeah.
the situation with Momo being evacuated and just
That I
how
yeah,
she
I know
reacted
exactly
to
what you're talking
that.
about.
And it's just like for in your video for you to say, I don't want anyone to talk about rumors in my comment section where there is proof that a situation took place during MomoCon that was very sad. And I honestly pray that that person is doing well and that they are doing better. But there was a situation that really was fucking sad. So, yes, the convention hall had to be evacuated at a certain point. And the only reason I found out about it is because, yes, I have inside sources.
I
Am I
yeah.
telling people not to like I just thought it was icky, because that could have
I
been
think that
something
yeah,
that she
there was that part in that video where she was basically I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. She was basically like complaining and like getting like upset that like she was being inconvenienced by like an emergency evacuation. And it's like when you like if you know like what the context is behind the scenes, and like you go through like you go through multiple channels of filtering where it's like, okay, we shot this video, should we delete it? No. Or it's like you put it into like the rough cut of the video and you still kept it. Nope. And then it's like you keep in the final cut and think it looks okay, and it's like, no.
you had
Like when
so many
someone's like
opportunities.
if you're like the context behind the situation is like pretty sad,
It's
and it's like
very sad.
it's really not something that like that should have been taken lightly, but it's also like it's kind of made like the situation look more like like the way that they handled the situation, like at least the evacuation portion, like as like such an inconvenience, like felt so wrong,
Like
like given the
literally.
context. So it was just I just could not get behind that,
And
and yeah, it was
and as
just
someone who has been like she says that Momo is her favorite con. She loves going to Momo. So you would think that she would have her own inside sources about things that go on at MomoCon. So what
Well, she
really
did. She had her friend that was in there, but like she did have her friend that was like on the other side, like inside that building, like that whole time, and like a
right,
liaison. But it was, I think, like the situation at the time was like too like sensitive to actually like mention. But also,
right,
I also do think that it was also because like YouTube's algorithm like also like really does not favor videos that like openly mention like heavy topics such as like mental health issues or like violence and whatnot. If you
right.
so much as like say certain words, like it'll actually just like straight up take you out of it. So I'm
That's
pretty sure that's actually like this is speculation on my part, but it does kind of feel like they were skirting along those lines and just trying not like to tiptoe around it. But at the same time, it's like if you know what's going on, like I actually feel like it would have been better to just like have cut that part of the video out
yeah,
entirely,
like
because
that's
like
what I
it doesn't make you look good in that
no
situation, right?
exactly.
It's
It's
like
like
that's like me taking a video while I'm on a run, and then someone gets like run over like by a moving train or something, right? And I'm just and like when I hear and then when I hear like all the police sirens go off and be like, everyone, there's an incident over here. I'm not gonna like film myself going like, oh my god, look at my day fucking ruined, right? Like
like
that's basically what it was like. So it was just
yeah.
no,
And
I
even if
can't get
she didn't
behind that.
mean it, and like I just said, even if she didn't mean for it to come off that way, perspective is reality. Like perception is reality, my bad. So people that see that video are gonna be like, oh my God, like you were really tripping about this. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
even for me, just as once again, as someone who has worked behind the scenes for anime conventions plenty of times at this point, we had we have to keep certain things from escaping because if not, it breeds panic. And I think people fail to realize that, like, that because one of the feedbacks I was hearing from people was, well, why didn't MomoCon make an official statement about it? And it's like, because
You
why
can't
would they
sometimes.
make a, first of all, if the if the person who is being affected by the situation does not consent, we can't say anything. Nothing can be said. And two, why would they would get on their social media during the literal event and post about something so serious and sad in the middle of the convention? So then people start panicking. People start asking questions. People want to go around and try. Because again, we know how creators are.
I do
People,
understand, like, to some extent with like the public perception where it's just like, where it's like if the con doesn't say anything, like they can, like, all people can really do is like speculate past a certain point
exactly.
until like an official source comes out. But it's like I do understand that, but it's also like I do feel like people need to like consider like literally every like angle and like context behind these things, because it's like I don't know. Maybe it's just my bad. Maybe it's just my bad to like assume that people can think critically, right? So it's just
I mean, listen, I say all the time where it's like
common sense
people
is not
have to
that common.
realize that, like, because you haven't experienced this, you don't have the experience of knowing what happens in these situations. Work one con and you'll get it. That's all I have to say. Work one convention, whether it's MomoCon, whether it's Hallmat, whether it's DragonCon, whether it's Anime NYC, Anime Expo. Work any of these bigger conventions, and you will see just how much stress comes about during showtime.
There's a
And
reason there's
like,
so much turnover. There's a reason there's so much turnover for like con staff and like con volunteers. There's
yes,
always such a shortage of them. Like I need y'all to like sometimes consider why that might be the case, because it's like these things are not easy to run. Even as someone that's only worked as like a guest and like done a little bit of like backstage like back dealing, like dealing from like the back pretty much, where like not much other people can see, it's still like a really daunting task to try and like get like even like a small booth up and running. Like I can't imagine what it's like for like an entire show, especially when you have like a shit ton of people like in one in like one circulated area. You like the variables to like mess things up is so high, and like the
so
variable of
high.
things that will mess up is also really high. So it's like a majority of the time when people ask for feedback, like the feedback you'll get is like they'll probably not mention things that like they'll mention, like there's not gonna be a lot of mention of like things that like people just didn't see, because that probably just means that they did a really good job of just like keeping that like out of sight, like for the time
Exactly.
being, right? So it's like I do commend a lot of staff for that.
Yeah, like I'm be honest, I be a trooper. When I be working, it's that you have to put on the customer service personality times like 10,
Yeah.
because again, you're not just dealing with the attendees, you're sometimes dealing with the guests, you're dealing with hotel staff, you're dealing with the convention staff. There are so many different people that you have to not only deal with, but you also have to not piss off, that
Yeah,
you have to,
especially that
like, you have to constantly put on this face, and it is exhausting.
I remember working actually I haven't experienced to share. I'm not gonna like name specific like brands or names that I was working for or anything, or the con that I was at, but like one of the booths I was working at, like they were on our ass. Like they were on our ass the entire time, because they did not like the fact that the booth that I was helping run had a lot of like ecchi art, and like merch all over the place. And once again, I'm not gonna name names because of who was like kind of like over our shoulder. Let's just say it was like a very big anime company that had a booth literally right next to us, right? Like
Mm.
they were like micromanaging the ever living shit out of us, essentially, kind of like strong arming us into like taking a lot of our banners down and trying to like make us cover a lot of our stuff up to not face like their stuff basically, even though like their shows, even those shows that they advertise like have like people's ass and tits hanging out all over the place. So it's
Like
like,
literally.
yeah, but we're the issue, by the way. So it was just like, okay. But we couldn't do anything. We literally could not do anything without risking like pissing off both like the con staff and also like that like specific company that was like after us pretty much. So like the entire weekend was just like a stress for me because I was like managing because I was doing line management like during this whole thing. I was doing line management.
Mm.
I was helping out with like guests like at this booth, and I was also like helping out with some of the inventory like to some extent. So it was just like
A man of
it
many
was like
hats.
yeah, so it's just like, oh man, like this is fucking rough. That wasn't even for like I wasn't even volunteering for that con, mind you. That was for one booth. So if my experience was like that bad, like for a single booth at a con for a whole weekend, imagine how bad it is for someone who's doing one job like at a con for like a single day. Like it's like it gets rough. So I like when I say that, like I need people to like actually give like some like staff and volunteers a little bit of grace like for some of these things. Like I do mean it. It's like it's pretty absurd like
No, literally.
how many hurdles are completely unsung and
Because
like
I can
praises
talk
are
about
unsung.
just my own experiences, like, and you know, like people who listen to this and know me know where I work. Like, it ain't hard to find it out because, again, my personality is just so T. But
Yeah.
just, just to like, from the conventions I have worked and just the amount of sleep, like, literally, a lot of volunteers and staff don't sleep the entire event. Like, they are up the entire time, and they may take maybe an hour, maybe 2 hour nap, and they're up still, running around, helping out, putting out fires because we call them fires, and like just that alone, I'm like, this person is barely making any money if they are making money. Um, and they just do it for the love of it. They do it because they want people to have a good time and they want people to enjoy the event and not have horror stories that they can get on TikTok and talk about. But some stuff falls through the cracks because there's only so many of us. There's only so many places we can be at the same time. There's only so many people we can check on at the same time. So because what I really want people to understand, and I want to put this on wax because I want people to listen to me when I say this. A lot of the con staff that you see are volunteers. They are not getting paid to do this. And if they are getting paid, it is a very, very small stipend. Maybe $200, $300.
It's pretty like unironically like I actually do feel like a lot of these like people should get paid for their work because it's like it is probably one of the most like stressful things that you can imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, I was actually really surprised that there were actually this is a bit of like culture shock on my end, but it was like when I started going to US cons, like I was under the assumption that like a lot of cons like in the US kind of ran the same like kind of like style that the Canadians do.
Oh
Like
Lord.
in the sense that Canadian like a good chunk of Canadian cons that are like still active and running are actually nonprofit, like completely nonprofit. Like
Mm-hmm.
particularly the ones in my area. So it was like so actually like seeing how much of like an actual like corporate hold that like a lot of cons have that a lot of cons are under like within like the con community within like the cons like presence in the US. It really shocked me because I was just like I wasn't a stranger to seeing like advertisements like all over the place for like different things like obviously but like just kind of realizing there actually really aren't that many like nonprofit like events down there anymore is like actually kind of shocking to think about, but it's also
Yeah.
like Yeah, it kind of does like mark a bit of a shift in like the way that like cons are starting to like go nowadays, because it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this in like a gatekeepy way, but like I think like anime, I think things like anime and like some of the and like some nerd culture has gotten like really like it's kind of like breach containment in a way.
Child, listen, nah, talk your shit because the way, because the way that like it is so frustrating, and we can pivot into talking about just how this has impacted not just con culture but like influencer culture, cosplay culture. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to make the big cosplay bucks. Everybody wants to have their viral moment, and it comes from a lot of these conventions welcoming this type of content and this type of, you know, chase the bag mentality. Like, even like for instance, DreamHack has a IRL streaming policy. Now, they have rules and stuff, but it's like they welcome people going up to each other and shoving a fucking mic in their face and going like, "Hey, you what you like about this da 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 da." And that's fucking crazy because when I started going to conventions in 2015. And even then, it was so like it's where nerds go to do nerd shit with their friends and mind their fucking business and have fun. That's what cons were to me when I started going. You didn't have to worry about, there's creeps everywhere, and people are just fucking weird. But you didn't have to worry about people sticking a fucking camera in your face or, this big ass crowd doing, and this is just a recent thing that's just is like, but they doing the IRL tier list in the middle of the goddamn floor and blocking traffic and shit. Like, it's like
I
you,
I actually I okay, so I actually have a lot of feelings about this, because I'm just like, yes, on one, I do agree with like what you're saying for like I agree to an extent, because I actually feel like I know a lot of people will like kind of harp on like the old days where it was like more passion, like people are always like thinking about it was like more passion driven,
back
where it
in
was more
my
like,
day.
but the truth is, even before the Instagram era, like I can kind of like trace this back to like my own experience. Like the lineage kind of goes from like comic cons like being more socially acceptable, like cons being more socially acceptable, like even but it's still a little bit more niche. And then you go to like the Instagram era, where everybody was, well, no, we had the Facebook page era, where
Right.
everybody had a Facebook page and everyone had cosplay cards all over the place. And then it evolved into the Instagram era. And then like what I think it was around in between or around that time, the Patreon era also came in, with like people
Yeah.
starting to realize like they can actually like make
Make money.
money off of like doing this hobby, right? Like kind of make this into a legit side hustle or like a job, right? So a lot of like people really emerged like in these spaces. And then like it evolved into like the TikTok meta. It evolved into like a lot of like TikTok metas and whatnot. And then the pandemic hit, and that was when the demand for anime and other pop culture like really soared, because like there was nothing to
There
fucking
was
do.
nothing to fucking do.
So it was like finally time to like give these like weird ass like shows a try, right? And then lo and behold, people really love it, and then they were like openly were like, yeah, we missed out on it, so let's do this stuff when lockdown finally lifts, right?
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. But I will say though, like even in the early days, yes, like I agree to some extent that like in the early days there was more passion, like there was more of a passionate drive from like a good chunk of people. But like people have always been like wanting like
Their
attention.
viral moment. Yeah.
People have always wanted that moment in cosplay, and people have always wanted that. Like, if you really think about it, cosplay is like low key, like it is a bit of a self-serving hobby.
I mean,
Like
yeah.
if you really want to get philosophical with it, cosplay can be a very self-serving hobby, because like it's really all about you. and like how like
how
you're
good you
fit.
look in this.
It's about like kind of like centering yourself in the middle of these things, and like
Yeah,
how much like you want to express how much you want to do these things. And it's like I'm not saying this in like a rude way or anything, but it's
obviously
like I
not.
do think that it's important to kind of like get this kind of framing out of the way where it's just like I think people need to be like a little bit self-aware about how like this kind of like thing can like turn like can kind of like look to people like outside to like outside of the community, like if that makes sense. So
Oh
it's
yeah, that
like
makes sense. Cause
yeah, like
even
introspection is very important, I think. So
it
it's like
is,
yeah.
and I say all the time, I know I'm a attention whore. Like you
Yeah.
have to like it's just
Like
it's just
I'm not gonna judge you for saying that like, yeah, I want to get famous because it's like,
like
yeah. It's like
yeah,
who the fuck doesn't want to be famous? Like
exactly. But it's like what I
who
don't
doesn't want to make
like.
money?
Right, exactly. If you just want to make money, that's fine. But what I don't like is I don't like the people that masquerade. Like you pretend like you're this down to earth, want everybody to succeed ass bitch, and then in the background you're fucking ruining people's lives and talking shit and blacklisting people and like all the different other stuff. That's the disingenuousness of it. That's what I don't like. Because like I tell people all the time, if you're gonna be a piece of shit, be a piece of shit. That's fine. Living your truth. I can respect you enough for at least doing that. I don't like the ones that try to paint shit gold and want to hand it out to everybody and be like, "Yeah, y'all, this some gold. This a gold bar that I found." Like, no, girl, that's a turd. like you're a turd. And that's why for me where it pisses me off and because you are right, like everybody has always wanted that viral moment, like that's why we had America's funniest videos like back in the day. It was a
Yeah,
fucking
like yeah,
like
it's like wanting to be famous and like wanting notoriety isn't a new phenomenon like at
exactly.
all. It's definitely not a new thing at all. It's like I just think that like sometimes it's like how do I put this? Like personally for me, like obviously I also had that kind of phase where I was also like really conscious about how I wanted to be like seen by people, and like I wanted to like I tried to chase trends. I tried to do these other things, right? And like yeah, I had fun doing these things, but it was also just like, you know, I was kind of like wearing myself out a bit, so it was just like, okay. There were times I actually almost quit like doing cosplay at some point, so it was just
Yeah, that
like,
shit hard.
yeah, like
Like
part of it, right? Because you can't always like be 100% on everything, right? But like, I don't know. I feel like the older I got, I feel like the older I've gotten, like the more like the drive to like just like I don't know, make stupid ass memes in like cosplay just kind of like got stronger, and so I've kind of almost been just doing like daily uploads at this point. So it's just really, it's just fun to me at this point. Like I
yeah, because it becomes you like you said, introspective and like looking within and asking yourself, why are you doing these things? Are you doing these things because you want to be famous? Okay, cool. If that's your answer, cool. But if you're doing these things because you're seeking attention or you're seeking this to fill this void, okay, then maybe you might want to ask another question. Because, like I said, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do these things, but masquerading it as something else is where my issue comes. Because you know me, I want everyone to live their most authentic lives, period. Whether
yeah.
it's you being a stripper, you being an OnlyFans girl, you being a damn bartender, whatever it is, do the thing and do that shit well. But don't pretend like it's something else when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay for you to say, hell yeah, but bro, I want all of the money and I want uh 10 100 million followers and I want all the brand deals, da da da. It's okay for you to say that stuff. But don't
Yeah.
get on your Twitter and then be like, oh my God, I just want everyone to get along and I want everyone to be friends and then your bitch ass in the background fucking dog walking and shit talking your friends in the group in private group chats and shit and canceling their art projects for them. Mind you, I've been throwing so much shade this entire time.
I won't lie though. Like those attitudes have also existed in the past too.
Oh yeah,
The truth
absolutely.
is, I think we need to really I think we really need to like understand that like a lot of the con community, at least like especially in like the older generations too, it's like you have to realize like a lot of people you don't. I think a lot of kids, I think a lot of like younger people don't realize like how stigmatized like a lot of like nerd shit was back in the day. People
Exactly.
used to fucking call you a virgin for liking Star Wars, or
No, literally.
people used to call you slurs for like not playing fucking Call of Duty back in the day, right?
Oh
And
my
now Call of Duty
god.
is a joke, so we won. But either way,
Period, bitch.
it's like you get what I'm saying though, right?
Exactly. Of
It's
course
like
I
yeah, these
do.
things have been like like stigmatized like so much back in the day that it was like actually like a genuine like social taboo within like certain circles. Like obviously we didn't really give a shit because like we were among our peers, right?
Exactly. Who
But
gave a
you have
fuck?
to realize when you like kind of like put it's like when you put in like one specialized location of like a crowd full of people who have like generally been like very disenfranchised or like just kind of in like some way shape or form, you're gonna start like forming you're gonna start forming like a social hierarchy where like certain people are going to like relish that like positivity that they are getting from like other people and like kind of turning it into like an opportunity to become like the mean girl of like the thing like the opportunity that they never
Child.
had essentially. So it's like that's something to like really take into consideration. And a lot of these like attitudes have just not been weeded out properly even to this day. Like yes, people are getting called out for like a lot of these like kinds of behaviors of like being like of like just kind of like backstabbing behavior, but it's also like that's like it's just the nature of people where it's like you
Yeah.
really can't like you really can't cure like these things like overnight obviously,
Right.
but it's also just like it's just easier to identify because it's like so much of like it's just easier to identify certain behaviors and like trends. But I do kind of feel like a lot of people like still just don't want to actually say it outright until it's like socially like safe or like acceptable to do so.
Yeah.
So it's
Like.
just like yeah, it's yeah, you see it all the time with like you see it all the time with like with like certain creators or like figures where just like where it's like it's a very open secret amongst like certain people, right? And then once like shit hits the fan, it's like okay, everyone like kind of disavows it. It's just like yeah,
But
like
bitch, you been knew that that person was a piece of shit. Like, but
I think like there is like I said there's like it's like anything there's nuance to a lot of these things because it's like
yeah.
we don't really like a lot of people don't understand like there's like social like dynamics that you have to like take into consideration. It's like you like don't get me like here's the thing. I know a lot of people want to say things like hey cosplay or like cons are a sacred space where like you're not allowed to talk bad about anything ever, right? Or just kind of like that mentality. But the truth is, it's like when you have people, you're gonna run into people problems, which also means that you're gonna be doing a lot of like, you're gonna be running into a lot of like interpersonal like politics like at
Mm.
hand, and
And you're gonna be running into a lot of shit talking.
you're gonna run into a lot of people where it's just like you're gonna run into a lot of people where it's just like you need to know how to navigate these situations like socially, otherwise you are going to
Crash and burn.
otherwise you're going to like be thrown away like a living fleshlight. Like I'm
Yeah, like
sorry. It's
like literally
crazy.
you're gonna crash and burn. And I say that to say like even with cause like sometimes yes, business is business. Like I don't really fuck with this bitch for real, but if we collab on this thing and we got this project coming up and we know it's gonna make us some bank, hell yeah, a bitch gonna work with a bitch they don't really fuck with for real because bitch they got bills to pay. And again, like you said, it's so much nuance that goes into these relationships that people see on social media and they see, these TikTok influencers or Instagram or cosplay. They see these people interacting and they think, oh, they're the best of friends when really the only time they see each other is during cons. The only time they do content together is during cons. Or the only time that they're really hanging out is when they're in business meetings or they're talking about new brand deals and stuff like that.
Well, actually, like a lot of groups, you will notice are like actually do have like really close relationships. A lot of cliques do have like friends, do have like genuine friendships going on. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's like fully transactional because it's
Well,
like
yeah, not all the
I
time,
wouldn't say
obviously.
things are always transactional because once again like I know it sounds like we're painting like the community in like a really negative light, but
Right.
the truth is like if you have like a good group of people that like and you really trust, that's really all you need. That's really all you need.
Literally. Oh my
Like genuinely
god.
speaking,
Oh my
like
fucking god.
yeah, like you can make the worst like cons like turn into like some of the most fun you've ever had, honestly. Like
Because you
if you have
just
the right
got your
group.
friends.
But it's just like, yeah, so like I don't think everyone's like in it like 100% transactionally because it's like
Yeah.
obviously like it's like it really is just like high school again where it's like you just need to know how to navigate like different people where it's like, okay, this person fucks with this person, but they don't fuck with that person, so I'm just gonna like do this, right? Or it's just it's just about knowing how to like navigate those like social situations again. It's like it's obviously not easy it's obviously not easy, but at the same time it's like like
You
y-
kind of
uh,
have to,
you need to start learning. It's like you
like
need to learn
most
Chinese,
you.
buddy.
Oh,
It's
literally.
like that
Most you.
fucking meme, right? Like you better start learning Chinese, buddy. It's like that's pretty
Mm,
much like the equivalent, right? Like come on.
but yeah, like, and I hope like people don't get from this episode that we are bashing the cosplay community. I just think we wanted to talk about more so that nuance
Oh, speak
of
for
how.
yourself. I'll speak for yourself. I'm pissing on everyone. I'm
I
kidding.
mean, yeah, we listen. We taking a piss, obviously. Like we gon' piss where it needs to be pissed at. But
Because
also,
I won't lie, cosplayers kind of I feel like cosplayers need to like be taken down a peg sometimes because
oh
honestly,
yes, a lot.
because
Some of them fucking
cosplay
suck.
really does give some of the most mid human beings god complexes. Like I'm not even gonna like pussyfoot around it. It's actually there's a little bit of truth to that.
I love the pivot. I love how we were like,
But
oh yeah, like
I
we're not
think
kidding, but actually we
I
kind of
think we
fucking
do.
are because you bitches are weird. And I want
I think we do kind of take ourselves a little too seriously sometimes. So it's just
it's
like
like baby.
it's like guys, we dress up like Deltarune characters. Like come on, like come on now. Like
like
let's be real.
let's be completely honest here. That's not what this is. Like and like I hate to say it, but it's genuinely like I was saying this during our banter before we started recording, but it's like you were saying, like it's the nerds that were bullied in school trying to be mean girls. Like
Yeah,
that's literally
essentially.
all it is. And what they fail to realize is that at the end of the day, once you leave this con hall or you leave whatever space you're in, you're still the nerd that got bullied in high school, sis. Like I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're
Yeah.
still the loser, lame ass bitch that you were in high school once you leave these spaces. So instead of you, and what makes me so irritated about it is that instead of you trying to be the positive example and show people that regardless of your circumstances and your situations and the shit that you've been through, you can be this positive role model or be this person that even if you're not wanting to be a role model, someone that just rises above their childhood trauma and does something that they want to do, you decide you want to be a mean girl, lame ass bitch. Like that's crazy to me. Like that's just so crazy to me. Cause like, girl, I ain't telling you to start no charity or nothing, but we repeating cycles. So you went from being bullied to being the bully. That's crazy as fuck.
I
Like,
just yeah, it's like at the end of the day, it really is just like interpersonal stuff, and like honestly, like past a certain point, you do kind of have to learn how to like you kind of do have to learn to tune these things out and just like kind of like
real bad.
if this is like really if this is something that's like genuinely really pressing because someone's like a fucking diddler or something, yeah, you gotta say something. But it's like if it's anything else, it's just like sometimes you just gotta like learn that like not every struggle is yours, right? Like
Yeah.
you just gotta let it go and just kind of like do your own thing because otherwise like you're just gonna make yourself miserable, right? So
Yeah.
it's
You're
yeah
gonna be a sad ass bitch all the time. Like,
I think I've definitely made that mistake quite a few times, over the years, where it was just like I was trying really hard to be liked by literally everyone, but it was also just like that's just not a realistic expectation for that's just not a realistic expectation, honestly. It's just like, I get it, you want to be liked by your peers, but you're not gonna impress everyone. You can literally do every single thing right.
and
You
bitches will
can
still find an issue.
Yeah, people will still figure out a way to hate it, hate on you. So
Exactly.
past a certain point, it's like you just really do have to learn not to give a shit. That's actually why I don't have anything like anon question submissions or whatnot, because it's just like I feel like that's just like a gateway. Yes, I get it, people do it to just kind of interact with their followers and whatnot, but that's just not for me, because I feel like that invites so much that just invites so much trouble to me personally. So it's
It
just like,
really does.
yeah, I'm not really down for
Like,
that.
it really
I learned
does.
from Tumblr back in the day, so I'm like,
No,
no,
literally.
absolutely not. Get out of here.
Because even for me, that's why my real life is separate from my creative life. Because like dead ass, I don't want to. I dealt with the wanting everyone to be my friend shit when I was younger. So I'm glad that I learned that lesson early on, because yes, you want people to like you, but not every bitch gonna like you, and that's okay. And so for me personally, that's how I can get up and dance in front of people. That's how I can talk shit and voice my opinion. It's constructively, because I'm not a bitch that's just gonna be, well, you stupid hoes, and like, no. But that's why I can voice my opinions and stand strong in them, because I know everything I say a bitch not gonna like. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. Like, girl, I don't care. Like, it's okay that you don't agree with me, sister. It is okay that you don't agree with me, Chad. It is okay. But at the end of the day, my experiences are mine. Yours are yours. Now, if you want to have a constructive conversation about it, that's different. But you just calling me all out my name because I said something you don't like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about that. Like,
Yeah, it's just, yeah, we just need to like I said, just need to tune these things out. It's I know social interactions are a bit of a challenge for some people. I get it. It's difficult to just it's difficult to navigate these things sometimes, but it's also you gotta it's one of those things where it's you get pushed, you push, once you get into these circles, you're pushed into a deep end of the pool, right? So it's either you're gonna learn to swim, or you're just not gonna do it, right? So it's
exactly.
you can always rely on someone to bail you out of these situations. You know it's it's a
It's
time.
it can be a complex thing, because like we've learned, like everybody doesn't have the same support systems. Not everybody has the same, role models or inspirations, or people in their lives telling them that, like, girl, it's okay that people don't like you type shit. But I think that not necessarily it's people's job to do that, but I feel like people should be more aware of just the type of things that they are putting out when it comes to stuff like that. Like, not trying to police nobody content, because girl, if you want to talk about booty holes and dicks and balls, do that, because child, I'm the same bitch. But it's also like in that same breath where it's like, you know, children are gonna get their hands on shit. It's just happened. Teenagers get their hands on shit. I should know. I was one of them. So
Bro, okay, actually, this is gonna be a weird pivot. I'm not,
please let's
well,
pivot. Please.
there's a really weird pivot, but when you mentioned that things that you saw or experience that you weren't supposed to see, I love that our generation is the one that is really pushing back on people watching Has Been Hotel. When we were the ones that got to Danganronpa and Dramatical Murder DMMD.
Bro, and I can go even further back than that. Shit like Drawn Together on fucking Comedy Central.
Dude, that and
Like,
Happy Tree Friends,
like,
we used to watch that. We used to watch those things for fun. Those
like
were all
we And I think that's why we so desensitized now because baby, we was watching some
Well, it
crazy ass
wasn't. Well,
shit.
it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't say that we were desensitized. I think we're just trying to look out for like younger folks, like for like these sorts of things. Because like, why? Because like, why on God's good earth is like a 14-year-old kid like what like cosplaying from Hazbin Hotel? Like, I'm sorry,
No,
like,
literally,
like
like this
please.
stuff.
Like,
And
I mean,
again,
first, I need you to find better taste. I'm just
hey,
kidding
don't
about
do
that.
has-been. I kind of like it. I do.
I'm
I
just kidding.
kind of. I
I
have
will
my
never
gripe.
get over. I'll never get over like Vivzy Pop's writing though. Like,
Listen, that's why I say I have my listen. I have my moments. Sometimes I like trash. Sometimes trash finds me, and I
you know
trash.
what? I can't really talk considering I really like. I can't talk considering I'm a trash connoisseur because I like Nicolas Cage movies.
See,
So you know,
see, see.
I'll give. You know what? I'll lay off a little bit. But you know what I mean? Though it's just like, but it's just like, hey guys, like maybe I think you guys need to be aware of like like these sorts of things where it's like like this character like these like very adult situations are like things that you are not old enough to like fully understand. Like even if you feel like you're
Exactly.
mature enough to, just like
Like, because I thought I was mature enough, and then I was going through the things I was going through, and I was like, hell no, I'm not mature enough. I
bro,
want to go back to being a kid.
we got trolled into watching into like fucking meatspin.com like like in our youth, right? So it's like like we thought we were prepared for that. No, we were not. Like I can tell you
Oh
that
my
much. Anyone
god.
that has ever said that they're hard like fucking like shaped by the internet back in those days. No, we were actually just unprepared, like straight
No,
up.
literally, like two
And
girls,
we
one
just
cup.
dealt with it. We just
Fuck.
dealt with these
Like,
things like as like a reality, right?
no, literally, like you would just click on a video, and you get two girls, one cup, one man, one horse. The Pain Olympics, like
I remember the Pain Olympics
I
actually.
do
Oh
too.
my god,
It's
old
burned into my brain, and I think it is because we have male genitalia. Um, but it's burned
when I saw
in my
that, I
psyche.
was like genuinely shocked. Part of me was like, this cannot be real. And I'm just like, but what if it is?
No, it's very real.
I was like, what if it is? And I just could not get the thought out of my head that someone would just do that because like it was a trend. But like I you know what?
Nah,
You know
nah,
what, kick streamers exist, so
yeah,
what the fuck do I
child,
know?
child, we could do a whole separate episode talking about them motherfuckers, cause man,
Oh yeah, speaking of happy potential 40 years of jail for Johnny Somali, by the way.
woohoo,
That's a
fucking asshole bastard, die, yay! Not actually, but like, cause off the record, I don't actually wish death on anyone. I ain't got time for the feds to be like, yeah, he wished death on him, then he died. No, I didn't mean that, but but no, seriously,
in Minecraft,
Rodney.
obviously. In
No, in
Minecraft.
Minecraft, obviously, but yeah,
In Minecraft.
but yeah, Rotten Jail, you fucking just
that
utter piece of shit. But
like oh man. Okay, I know this is like going very off base, but it's just like, well, once you'd think after like the first sentencing, you think after the first like potential sentencing, you'd like lay off a little bit, right? But man is trying to speed run like lifetime jail in another
you would
country
think,
as a foreigner. Like
like
that's
you would think,
you would think, right? But it's just wow,
but
that's
it's like I'm
kind
telling
of
you,
insane.
it's something that I've been saying since I started working in these spaces. Clout is a hell of a drug. It is the hell hell of a drug, okay? Like people there's literally a do anything for clout. To do anything for clout. Like that's a real thing. Like people would ruin people will ruin their lives and would rather ruin their lives than not have their viral moment. And again, that's okay, but now you're gonna spend the rest of your life in jail. I'm just saying.
Dude, look how far like Vitali has fallen. Remember when Vitali used to just make like YouTube pranks like back in the day, and now he's like about to rot in like a like I think it's like a
Filipino jail.
yeah, he's about to rot in a Filipino jail. Like that's fucking crazy. Like you're telling
like,
me that your own country like disowned you like because you were such a shitbag. Like
come on.
just let them like have their way with you like in the legal system, which honestly deserved, but it's like you realize how much of a shitbag you gotta be for like the Russians to like disown you, right? Like that's
Like
crazy.
for the Russian to say they don't want shit to do
No
with
offense to no offense to my like Russian friends. It's
right.
like
Love my
I love you
people,
guys.
but y'all rough. Y'all look. We can be honest. They a little
There's
rough.
a reason we don't there's a reason we do not fuck around with you guys.
Exactly, y'all, because y'all is rough, and I don't be trying to get whatever. But literally, I just so actually this brings up a cute pivot
Mm-hmm.
because we talked about it earlier. We talked about her earlier, but you do know the wonderful, the gracious, the beautiful Jessica Nigiri. How in the
Yes.
fuck did that happen, Austin? Like,
Okay, so so I started as just a fan of hers. So like I said, I watched her from the Kasim G's YouTube, like from back in the day, because he was doing street interviews, and like Jessica was one of the more like prominent figures that would come to every single Comic-Con episode that he would do, like in
right.
California, and like I was a fan from there, but it was more of like a casual fan where I was just like I didn't really know anything about cons. I was like a straight up normie back in those days, so
You
obviously
are a
I
normie?
yeah, so back in those days, I knew what San Diego Comic Con was, but okay, I think I have to talk. I think to tell the full story, I need to go back into like my like actual like origin story, where it's like okay, so yes, I will lead into it. I promise. Like my lore is essentially like okay, so I was going to so I like you need to keep this as a background information where it's like yeah, I
Uh-huh.
was a fan of her before, right? And I knew
Right.
what San Diego Comic Con was. So for my high school trip, our high school trip, they sent us to Rome essentially for like our class like we got to Rome. We went to Rome and like on the way over to like Rome, like from the plane, my friend next to me was like, "Hey, are you going to Comic Con this year?" And I didn't know there was a Comic Con like in my area at the time, so I was like, "San Diego," and it's like, "No, that's too expensive, man." Like Calgary Comic Con. I was like, "Calgary's a Comic Con," and I was so shocked by this information. So he was telling me all about this, right? And I was super duper interested. And as soon as we touch down, and I get like stable Wi-Fi, I look it up, and it's the 1 year where like the local Comic Con actually was capsized, like technically, like it capsized at the
Mm.
event because like they couldn't stop selling tickets like too late. But by the time I found out about this place, it was like a week away, and it was like 2 weeks away, and the tickets were all completely sold out because that was the first year that Stanley came to that show
Mm.
and The Walking Dead. So it was just
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, this was like before this was before Stephen Yeun was like Keith, like in like Voltron, by the way.
Oh
So this is
we.
way before he was in Voltron. So you know he's a big deal now, but like back then, like it was yeah. Like the rest of the cast was like pretty huge too. So it was like okay. And yeah, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll go next year, right? And then turns out there's like a draw for like a local TV station for like an entry to get passes for the weekend. I submitted my name into it like thinking that nothing was gonna happen. Lo and behold, they call me on the phone and they're like, hey, you won the tickets from this like from this draw. Why don't you come over to the station? We'll give you the tickets. And yeah, that's how I
Holy
got to my
shit.
first like Comic Con ever, right? And then a
Wow.
year later, after going to cons and cosplaying for a little bit, I ended up like joining like a little like group of like cosplayers and like videographers and like we went to cons like just kind of like making like stupid like con vlogs and like interviewing people. And I was never an interviewee, just mostly like on screen, just like kind of fucking around essentially. But the one time that the one and only time I've ever conducted an interview, guess who fucking showed up? It was fucking Jessica.
Oh my.
It was Jessica. Like I was interviewing Jessica like for my very first ever interview, and I had
Holy
like a
shit.
little to no social skills of like just talking to people, right? And it was and I was like struggling to think of questions that weren't like going to come off as like super weird, right? And like just try to be and just like kind of like I don't know, I don't even remember what I asked because it was so long ago, but I would remember being so pants-shittingly terrified, and I was mad at everyone else because like they were too scared to take her on essentially, right?
Oh my
So I
god.
was so essentially she became my responsibility for that like awkward like 3 minutes that we were like talking together because like my god. I like the only evidence I have of that interaction ever happening is like an old selfie I have with her. It's like a really old selfie I have of her, and I do not think that I do not think that she remembers, hopefully, because oh my god, if she does, I will carry that shit to my grave. But Jess, if you ever hear this, I love you, man. I'm glad we actually became friends. But yeah, and then like oh my god, so like literally not even like a whole ass year after that, like I went to Katsucon. I don't know if you guys
Love
remember
Cosplay.
Vine. I
Oh
don't know
my
if you guys
god.
remember Vine.
Oh
Do you
my
remember? Do
god.
you remember there was a guy on Vine that had like a flower crown and was like, "Oh my god, my bellies."
Yeah.
I cosplayed as him, and like that caught her attention, and like that's how we ended up becoming friends. That's how we ended up becoming friends eventually. It was so funny,
That's so fucking funny.
and like
Like
and like my god, she is one of the most like funny, like wholesome and like genuine like hearted people like in the community. Like I'm so happy for her successes. Like
no, me too.
I know she's scaled back a lot on cons lately, and like she still does show up. She still does show up, but like I feel like people just do not like give her like the respect and like the flowers that she deserves,
Oh,
honestly.
absolutely not, which
I
is fucking insane.
it always hurts my feelings. It always hurts my feelings personally whenever like people like talk as if like she ruined the community like because of like oh like e-girls everywhere now. It's all because of her. It's just like bro,
First of
you can't
all,
you can't jerk off with one hand and like point at the other and like point using the other.
literally,
It's
like,
like
what the
buddy.
fuck? And it's always the incels. Like, because let me tell you something.
It's either like the fucking it's either the fucking like weird it's like the weird guys that just like cannot like fucking like get over the fact that like someone is like comfortable in their own skin,
Exactly, like
but
she's
also like a
hot.
lot of it's
I'm
also a lot
sorry.
like a lot of pick me. It's also a lot of pick me like behavior like around the end where it's just like
Shut
yeah
up.
fuck this person, right? It's
Like,
like
she's
yeah it's
doing
like
that
come
for
on.
attention. It's like, yeah, she is. She's hot. The fuck? Like, and Jessica, if you ever hear this, please don't take that as me objectifying you. You are genuinely beautiful as
Like
fuck.
and
Like,
she's also
holy
like
shit.
I've and like people just do not. I feel like people do not like give her like the amount. Like I feel like her name should like command like some should like demand like some amount of respect, honestly,
No,
because like
literally.
she was one of the big three of like the like cosplay. She's like the big four of like that
She's a
cosplay
big
community.
like I keep saying it because I'm
She's one of the progenitors there, like
she's
alongside like
literally one of the pioneers of US cosplay scene.
yeah, because like
Like
Kamui, yeah, because like there's Kamui, there's Yaya Han, there's like, and then there's Jessica, and then who else was I thinking of like right now? It was like, or was it just the three? No, it was okay, never mind. I will remember when I like think of the names again, but like because like I'm kind of like brain dead at the moment, but it's just like yeah, like all these people of like oh yeah, and Stella, like they've all like pioneered, they were pioneers like in the field too, and like
right.
like the fact that they've been able to like remain like relevant within the community and then
To
like the
this day.
space like to be like over like literal decades of like work in their body of work, it's just like it's actually super impressive, and like they've
No.
never like and like a lot of time and like they've never actually like faltered from like they've never fallen out of favor like for the most part. So it's like
Yeah, like
that's such a very like valuable skill to like have in the like these like kinds of social fields.
crazy enough, my one interaction with Jessica Nigiri was back in the day. It was 2021. No, it had to be like 2019 ish. It was farther back. I was doing my old YouTube stuff. And you know the whole promotion of it all. Like, you got to shield, shield, shield. You got to sell yourself. People got to see your shit that you're making. And she made a tweet. And what's so funny is that this tweet is still on my Twitter. I have to find it. But she basically made a tweet that was like, I love like small creators. Like I love watching new people drop your fucking links. And I was basically like I commented under like I don't know, like I just made this. Like, I don't really have much up there, so I don't think I should post anything. And she fucking replied, like, drop the link. and I was, and I literally was shitting myself all fucking day because I was like, Jessica Nigiri replied to me. Like, I'm like, not even to say like I'm a nobody, but to her, I'm a fucking nobody. Like, I'm just this random ass motherfucker with this anime avi just talking under her goddamn Twitter thread. And like that really like
I don't think she would. I don't think she would think like that. Honestly, I just think
yeah,
that.
I
I just
know,
think she
but
would. I just think that she's like very much of the opinion that like. I feel like she's very much of like the opinion that like a lot of people are just like people. So it's just like it's nice to like uplift everyone every now and then, right?
and that's what I love. And that's what I love about her so much, just from all of her interviews and just her being on podcasts and stuff, where you can genuinely tell that she is so genuine. Like she is like, and I was telling this the same thing about you earlier, but like she genuinely loves the craft. She loves the people that she's met. She loves the impact. And I know we're calling her pioneers, but I don't even think she believes that she is one, which is crazy to me. But that's just how genuine she is, where she's just like, one day I decided to dress as a sexy Pikachu and it kind of took off from there type shit. Like that's like and so
It really is one of those like domino. It is one of those like domino like effects where it's just like where it's like, hey, it's like time traveler moves a rock and it's just like an alternate version of like a universe essentially. It's just like I feel like
literally
there's a lot of instances you can really apply that to within like anything really like
where it's just
cosplay
like, oh,
or
I did
like
this one thing and now all of a sudden I'm
you want to know how weird our world could have been? We could have had Inception with Will Smith in it. Like that's I'm not joking about that. He even admitted this too in like an interview. So it's just, oh my yeah. We could have had Matrix like sequels with him in it
no,
with Will
literally.
Smith. Like
No.
that was legitimately on the table at one point. And it's like I feel like people need to like understand like how absolutely insane that could have been. Like
I,
it would have been an interesting movie like version to see for sure. It would have been really different, but like it's like at this point I'm down for like different if it's not safe.
No, for real. Y'all don't know this about Austin, but Austin is very big into film. He actually works in the film industry sometimes. So,
But you wouldn't know it because of how many times I get cut from the final cut of episodes.
which
Okay,
is
so
so
my
fucking insane, bro. Like,
okay, so you know how Moist Critical is forever associated indirectly with the Hunger Games franchise.
yes.
That's me with The Last of Us. Imagine that context, but like without the arm even showing up. Like
Holy
yeah,
shit.
like like I was in like the second episode of like The Last of Us season 1, like supposed to be at least. But they cut literally every single like infected out of the final shot of the final shots in the episodes there, and I was salty because
I know you fucking was.
I was low key kind of salty, but I got paid for it, so I can't really be upset all that much. But it's also just
Right.
like, damn, I spent 5 hours in the makeup room, like getting mushrooms and shit applied to me, and like getting like these like pulsing veins painted on my skin everywhere, and like making me pale and shit for 5 hours on a chair, and then like about like 3 to 4 hours like filming like on a on like a sound stage. It was
Holy
with like
shit.
a really hot like lights that are like burning everyone essentially, but also you also have like it was shot during COVID era, by the way, so
Yeah.
we were under a lot of regulations then too, so it was just like, yeah, I suffered so much just being in that episode only for them to cut it, so I'm just like, yeah, most of my film involvement just like revolves around me being a background extra that just gets cut for time, or it's just like really blurry in the background. Like
That's the
I was
only
in the detour, and I was also in Fargo, like the latest season of Fargo.
really.
Yeah, it was like in one of the hospital scenes, but I don't think you can see me there. Yeah,
Damn.
but I was there. I still have the pay stub for it, so it's like
Up. Got them receipts,
I
man. Got them
literally do have
receipts,
the receipts
bro.
because I still have to put those on my taxes. So I'm like, fuck.
But what's
They're
so
prickly about that, by the way.
I know they are because they're like, don't piss me off. But
The CRA is probably not as aggressive sounding as like the IRS, but they're definitely like a nuisance to deal with sometimes.
child, I ain't even gonna get started on our U.S. tax system because it's really useless at this fucking point.
Also,
But
it's like, oh yeah, it's like from what I've been described from like all the friends in the U.S. It sounds like it's like a nipple on a grown man. Like it's like cosmetically it's there, but functionally it's pretty fucking useless.
basically, cause all I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
It's a time. It's a time for sure.
It definitely is.
We're
So
we're
okay,
we're struggling up
last
here too, I promise.
no for real. So last pivot because we've been talking for almost an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Last pivot is how does it fucking feel having one of the most viral persona memes on the internet right now?
Oh my god,
Like,
I'm always, as much as I bitch and moan about as much as I bitch and moan about like the Persona community on Twitter, I really do appreciate the Persona community because like it's like when I okay, so when I first got into Persona, it was because my friend, like it was during the Anime Expo where they held the 25th anniversary like events like
and I
for
was so
Persona,
fucking jealous I
like at
couldn't
Anime
go.
Expo. And my friend didn't want to go alone, and certainly didn't want to cosplay alone. So she basically like goaded me into like cosplaying Yusuke. And at the event, I was having so much fun, and like so many people were like super nice about like the cosplay and whatnot, and like the positive interactions I had there like really like inspired me to like pick up the series again, to kind of pick up the series like from there. And I was like, oh yeah, this is fucking awesome, right? And then like that Yusuke video, I just made it on a whim. Like I wasn't I literally was not expecting it to pop off as it did, but for some godforsaken reason, the exact right people like saw it, shared it, and it just went like mega viral.
No.
And like I'm not even offended that like people like know me for that, because I'm really proud of that video, but I'm also like I also just really love Persona, so it's like, you know, like it's like a little badge of honor for like one of the most
No,
annoying fandoms
literally.
out there, but you know.
No,
Don't get me wrong,
literally.
I love the Persona community, but sometimes we can be a lot. Like
Oh yeah.
I am sorry, but like if
You
there's
see my
discourse all
shit
the
talking.
fucking
I'd be like,
time.
no, because literally I'd be like, this is why I don't interact with fandoms anymore. I say that all the time to you. I'd be like, this is why I don't. Because when it get bad, it gets bad. But I also like, you're right. Like, it's usually when it gets bad, it's that vocal minority. It's always that vocal minority.
Because
And I don't like
let's yeah, it's like, let's be real. Like I know people had their critiques of like Persona 3 Reload. Believe me, I have mine. I like it still. I like it in spite
love
of
it.
it, but
I love it.
I'm also not fucking stupid where
Right. Like,
I'm just gonna
duh.
be like, hey, I'm just gonna like say nothing but bad things about the thing, right? Like I'm gonna be fair and like say the good stuff too, even if I don't like it. Like
Exactly.
I tried Portable. I uh I have
Wanted
my
to throw
gripes with
up.
I have my gripes with Portable, I'm not gonna lie, but I do understand that people really love it. I can't. I'm not like I'm not usually a huge like visual novel person, so like scrolling is not necessarily like my biggest like attentive thing there. But also like people like some of the takes I have on Persona are like really would piss a lot of people off.
Oh, real bad. That's why I keep all of my thoughts to my friend groups.
That's unironically unironically why like I like actively like wish for like Atlas to make the most chaotic decisions possible
Yes.
whenever, because I'm just here like,
Just flip
hey,
the fucking table, please.
because I'm just sitting here like, hey, you people are you guys are fucking annoying. Like, you guys are so annoying that I'm like actively rooting for like Atlas to like keep the Yosuke romance like removed for the Persona 4 remake. Because like, okay, here's the thing. Like, there is so much elitism and purism within like the Persona 4 community that
Oh
it's
my
like
god.
it would open up a whole new debate where it's like, okay, if they keep the romance like removed in the remake, they're still being faithful, technically speaking, because it was cut content. So it's like,
Hello.
because it
Hello.
was cut content. So it's like,
Mm.
are you gonna go out of your way, like chew on that literal like pile of dog shit and just be like, hey, and just be like, and just like start smiling at me to like convince me that like, yeah, they're being faithful, right? It's like, you're not gonna
Like,
do that. Like be real. And it's like also like, you're right about the vocal minority thing, because it's like, hey, I know a lot of people complained, like rightfully so, about the episode, I guess, pricing and like the DLC, like,
right.
and the way that they did it. But have you guys just like stopped and considered that the answer just might be dog shit? The answer just might be like one of the worst things the Persona franchise has put out.
Which is so funny because I really like the answer.
I really, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. There are things I do like about it, but I will not like. But I'm gonna keep it honest. Like, I do not like the way that they handled Yukari in that one.
Yeah, they
Like,
kind of regressed her, and I was like,
like,
"What?"
don't get me wrong. I do understand the point that people are making, that she is like grieving and she is like really like not emotionally stable about these sorts of things. I get it. But when the literal fate of the fucking world is at stake, and like the fate of like your friends is at stake, is like,
Girl,
okay.
suck it up, get it
Like,
together. Like,
past a certain point, I'm willing to forgive a lot of things, but like, if you're telling me a bunch of Asian kids cannot fucking like cannot understand this fucking concept around collectivism, I will kill you. Like, and like, no, but also the other thing too is like, you want to know what actually annoys me about the answer too? Is like, not just Yukari. Why does nobody give Mitsuru shit for this? Like, she
no,
acted like
literally,
nobody like gives Mitsuru
literally,
shit for actively
and
enabling
she's my
Yukari.
favorite character.
So it's
She's
like
my favorite
that's
character.
the one that felt the most out of character. Like, Yukari like having an emotional outburst over like these things.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
okay,
Makes
I can buy. Even if
right.
the reason is kind of bullshit, like, I can still buy, right? But Mitsuru,
Girl,
like, after all the shit that she endured with her father dying and
literally,
Shinji dying, it's like, I cannot understand how you can like look at me and be like, hey, yeah,
this is a normal
only Yukari's at
reaction for
fault,
her.
or it's like, oh yeah, she didn't do anything wrong, or like Mitsuru didn't do anything wrong. It's like, what? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, I feel like most of the cast, like except for like Junpei, like acted really out of character during that DLC. Like, I'm
No,
sorry.
literally.
Like, how is it that
You're
Junpei,
right.
like,
You're
how is it
right.
that Junpei is the one that stayed the most consistent out of it, right? But it's just like, but yeah,
Well,
like
I think with Junpei, I think it was more so because they had already written him like such a bastard in the beginning, and then he kind of rose to fame. That like if they would have regressed Junpei at all, everybody, I feel like everybody would have been like, throw this shit in the trash. Don't ever play with my man like that again.
I
That's
mean,
how I feel like people would have been because
I think Junpei is like a really hard one to mess up when you give him that kind of like character or like growth like over that
exactly.
period.
But they'll
But
find a way. They'll
but
find a
they
way.
do find a way. Like, don't get me wrong, like I said, like, I am not above like critiquing the shit out of Atlas, right? But then the episode, I guess, DLC, that was a really long tangent by it. So the point I'm making is like, the episode, I guess, DLC sold substantially according to reports. So it's like,
Exactly.
as much as like people almost universally hated on like the episode, I guess, DLC, it still sold like hotcakes. So it's like, and like, you're also looking at the sales charts for like Raido, right? And it's just like, okay, either you guys are actually like, either you
Trolling.
guys are like an actual actual minority in this situation, or somebody is fucking lying here, because I do not believe any of y'all for saying that you are playing Raido like in this
No,
day and age. Like, absolutely
literally.
not. Like,
And again, I've always been interested in Raido, and I'll play it eventually. But I'm playing Persona 5 The Phantom X right now.
I've been
So
enjoying my time with it so far because like I was really looking forward to it, and I will say there are parts of they did put a lot of effort into like making it seem like an actual mainline title, but you really start to I really do feel like they needed like another year to like properly optimize this game because I feel like some of the technical elements in this game are like really sloppy.
and see, I saw your tweet about that and I realized I was like, I haven't really had any issues with it. But there is certain times where like,
I've been getting
you're
lag.
transitioning to battle
Yeah, that's
and
exactly
it
what I'm talking
looks
about.
so fucking weird.
Because
And so I was
yeah.
like,
Because I can deal with like like an odd model animation or like a really odd character just like turning and then like kind of teleporting for a second and like going back into place. I can forgive those little things, right? They're just little bugs. They're just little visual bugs, right? But then when it takes like 3 to 5 business days to transition from dungeon crawling into battle,
yeah,
and then your all out attacks are like your all out attack audio goes off, but the animations are like 2 seconds like too late. That's really egregious, I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like they needed like extra. I feel like they should have waited for like an English dub so that they could have had more time to like properly like voice act it.
optimizing, yeah.
You have to not just voice act it, but also like properly like optimize it because apparently like people on mobile don't have these problems apparently. So I'm just like, what?
Which is
How? Yeah,
fucking
how?
insane.
Yeah, that it's supposed to be the other way. Where it's
Right.
yeah,
And,
like especially since we play Hoyo games, so it's like
literally, like,
but
like fucking literally.
okay, but also can we also agree that like don't get me wrong, I think Hoyo games actually have this like down to a science where it's like their UI elements like don't like aren't as intrusive as like other games. Would you agree with me and say that they have like pretty clean UIs, like all things
Oh,
considered, even though they're pretty
absolutely.
cluttered? Well, Persona 5's like answer to that is like do you remember the Elden Ring if made by Ubisoft like UI memes? That's unironically what the game looks like
It
sometimes.
really does. And I try so a little background. I used to play Phantom X on the Korean server.
Mm,
And it was not this bad. It wasn't.
I don't know what
Like
happened.
like when I got into it, like yeah, like you would have your beginner pop-ups, like the shit happens, with gachas. They gotta make money. But it was not this bad. It wasn't. Because even like right now, like I got like 3 bundles that are getting ready to expire and they just pop up when they feel like it. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like
This one actually feels a little more intrusive than the ones I'm used to. So like that actually really
yeah.
caught me off guard because Atlas is usually like Atlas. I wouldn't say Atlas is not usually like this overt about like their monetization like model, but like this one actually felt like it was like genuinely kind of intrusive,
And I have
even for
even
a
more
gotcha
experience.
game.
Exactly. And I even have more experience, and people are gonna freak the fuck out when I say this. I play the SMT gotcha.
Okay, actually kind of based though. That's
Like
kind of based.
I've been playing it off and on since it released. And
How is it?
it's really fun, but when I say that, now if we want to talk about bad monetization practices and power creep,
Oh no, yeah.
DX2. DX2 for sure. It's to the point now where every single demon that gets released literally counters the last meta demon.
That's
Like
actually
it's
that's
so
actually so rude. What?
fucking bad. It's
No
so bad.
way.
And I if this ever gets on to DX2 Reddit or anything where people hear me say it, they know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Like it's so bad. It was so bad that literally for the longest time, Zeus was one of the most OP demons in that fucking game. And now he's like B tier.
Damn. Even
It's
Stariel didn't power creep their shit that bad.
it's like and that's what
That's
pivoted
actually
to
so shocking because I
it's
thought that was
so
bad.
bad.
Like, I thought Blade got fucking shit on for a while,
No, he really
but
did.
yeah,
Like, And this is why I be so frustrated when I be talking to other people that casually play gotchas. Cause bitch, I'm in this shit. I've played so many fucking gotcha games, bro. And that is why when I hear people complain about Hoyoverse and Power Creep, I be telling people to shut the fuck up. Because you have not seen the trenches. You have not seen the issue. At least you can still use Blade. You can still use Silverwolf. Are they top tier DPS? Absolutely not. But you can still use them in situational,
Firefly
events
getting
like
power.
that.
Firefly getting power crept is the real recession indicator.
No, literally. But even then, you can still use Firefly. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm actually a
In
little worried.
certain gotchas, power creep means that this unit is now useless. You cannot use this motherfucker anymore. So all of that pity and all of that money that you spent to use this unit, yeah, now all of a sudden they're trash.
That's
And
actually
I'm not
fucking
saying it's
heartbreaking.
okay. I'm never gonna say it's okay. But I'm telling the Hoyo fans, it could be a lot fucking worse. You
Honestly, yeah, that's also okay. Speaking of Hoyo though, I feel like Hoyo fans are like weirdly like they're like weirdly susceptible to getting rage baited because like do you oh my god, it's so easy to start it is so easy to start controversy in those like spaces by just saying like something that is like literally in text and people will like piss and shit about you
like
like
literally,
moan
it's almost
or
like
just
they
start
don't
being
read their
rage
own
baited.
game.
Oh yeah, they really are like Persona fans, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They literally are.
We can't
Because
read.
it's almost like because and again, we were talking about this earlier with nuance. People don't understand that the reason why certain things are written in certain ways is because the creators want you to think. They want you to have your own opinions. It doesn't matter if your opinion is right or wrong. They just want y'all to talk about it. They want y'all to have your own feelings about something that they put in the game. So when motherfuckers get on the internet and they're like, well, no, you're objectively wrong because of this, and then now it's this whole fucking discourse about whether Kaya can fucking suck dick from the back or some shit. It's like,
It's like
what?
I've seen so much discourse around that. I'm just feel like I'm not touching this with I'm not touching this with like a fucking 50-foot pole. Like
Child.
I love Kaya as much as the next person, but like I'm not equipped for this. But
I'm just
also
not. I'm not. And
also some of his fans are fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie.
they are. They're fucking weird. And so the previous episode that I've recorded, me and my friend Kay, we talked about like design choices
Yeah.
of specifically Genshin Impact, and I just know that episode is going to cause discourse. So I'm just preparing myself to just post and leave because it will. Like I feel like this will be the one that gets picked up in the algorithm, and then all of a sudden people are arguing in my comments about why Genshin decides to make everyone white and skinny. I don't want to hear it. I don't give a fuck. like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care for the discourse,
It's
baby. I'm not white nor skinny. So
like y'all I don't know. It's like I do understand the frustration around like the designs around like Genshin because honestly, like they need work. They need work, and some of them is like you can really tell that there's a lot of like I'm not saying this in like a way to like say that all Chinese people are bad, but or like Asian people are bad, but like you guys have to realize like a lot of like Asian cultures like do not give a fuck about these like sorts of things like at all.
no, they don't.
Like they're aware, but they don't give a fuck
They don't care.
because you want to know who doesn't care? The whales. The whales don't care.
They don't give a
And like they're making their bank from the whales. So it's like
It's
you win these games as a business by like pandering to
pandering
whales.
to the whales.
You're not gonna win these games by like you're not gonna win these games by listening to like legitimate criticisms like from like people like in these like areas. Unfortunately, that is kind of like I want them to have change as much as anyone else, but I do have to be like realistic about my expectations because honestly, like Genshin, because like let's be honest, like Hoyoverse or like a lot of like gacha companies, they could just cut off America entirely. Like they could
And
just cut off
still
North
make
America. Yeah,
bank,
they could just cut off North America entirely. Like it does
and
not
they would be
matter if the
fucking
entire
fine.
like server boycotts it or not. But also, oh my god, the thing,
And it's like,
every
if
time like the Genshin community like tries to start a boycott, they can't even do it properly because they tell them when they're gonna stop boycotting, and it's just like, okay. Like, it doesn't do anything. This is what happens when you have, like, children, like, this is what happens when you have children organizing these things. I'm just sort of
no,
like,
literally.
"Ah,
Literally.
no."
And like you said, as much as I want change, I also understand as someone who has a literal Chinese degree, I understand just how culture over there works on top of the fact that, like you said,
They
whales
just don't give
are
a fuck.
paying the bills.
Yeah, they also just don't give a fuck, like,
They just don't give
unfortunately.
a fuck. They just don't.
Like,
And it's
you can't hold someone accountable if they don't give a fuck about it. It's like,
literally like as sad and as fucked up as it
yeah,
sounds, it's
I don't want
literally
to
the
sound like
truth.
a doomer about it or that your criticisms are in vain, but like they are kind of falling on deaf ears.
Because they
Like
don't care.
the most change you're gonna get like from these games, like specifically, is going to be from like people doing localization for the West specifically
Right.
because like the West because like the Western like branches of these games at the very least are actually casting like voice actors of color to like match these characters, which is more
Right.
than what you could say for like places in Asia, right?
Right.
So it's like the battle is not going unnoticed, but it's just like there is like that racial like callousness because we were talking in our like pre-show earlier about Resident Evil 5, right? And it's like you understand like how like fucking racist some of those designs are, and it's just like
Right.
it's like it's like unfortunately Capcom is a Japanese company, and it's like you have to like they like it's even if they didn't come off with the intent to offend people, you like we can all agree that these are like racially callous at the very least, right? It's like or
Exactly.
just kind of like culturally like callous. And it's like
Mhm.
yes, hold them accountable, but it is also not unrealistic to not expect them to like change their tune unless their bottom line is like threatened, you know?
Exactly. Stop spending money,
Like
and then they'll change.
like that's not a controversial thing to say, is it? Like I know it's like
No,
I know
it's
it's a very harsh sounding thing to say, but it's like I feel like I feel like it's almost more wrong to just like say something and just like, you know, if I just say this thing, like hopefully like people are going to like take like people are just going to like assume the best is going to happen, right? I feel like you need to prime like people for like a genuine like reality check in this sense, right?
yeah, like you speaking facts, because like what people fail to realize is, like you said, unless the bottom line is threatened, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
And
that's why you're not going to see a lot of accountability from like Korean like entertainment companies about like
there we
stealing
go. I knew you was
stealing
gonna
black,
bring it up.
yeah, especially about like stealing from like black culture. So it's like, you know, it's
Because
like Korean people unfortunately are aware of these like issues, but they just kind of choose
they just
not to
don't give a
care.
fuck. Because at the end of the day, the and this is gonna sound
Because like
horrible when I
the
say it.
conversation is not the same like around there in that sense when like yeah, because the conversations are not the same because like you don't have like you don't have as many black people in those spaces to like tell them this is like not like the right way to go about it,
Exactly.
unfortunately. That's why I'm
Exactly.
really glad for like more black talents like showing up in those spaces, because like that opens up that possibility for things to get better. But it's just like when you have like a culture that has like these has like, you know, social hierarchies that date back literal hundreds of years, like these attitudes don't change overnight,
No,
unfortunately.
they don't.
And like yes, it does seem very dire, but I do think that like the potential is there for things to get better, especially with like the population kind of like I'm not gonna lie, the population's kind of starting to die out a lot because like we have the
Yup,
lowest birth rate
yup.
like in Asia right now, I think, like even
Mhm.
above Japan. So it's like that's you know what, you can take like if they adapt or die, right? Like come
No,
on.
literally. And that's why I'm gonna say, for all of my black K-pop girls who post content and shit, keep talking your shit. Keep saying what the fuck you need to say. Keep pointing out all of the fucking culture vultures and all of that shit, because at the end of the day, we gonna be heard regardless. Okay.
From like a Korean here, like I support you guys, like do it. Like do it. We need the piss taken out of us
Because somebody
somewhat.
got to say. Because somebody got to say something. Because at the end of the day, if people want to support us, like black folks, they'll realize that stop supporting these culture vultures. Like, just stop it.
Hi J
We
Park.
like literally, stop supporting the culture vulture. Stop spending money. Stop buying albums. Stop buying photo cards until we hit the pockets. They're not gonna give a fuck. That does not mean don't spread awareness and say things, but we
Yeah,
also have to understand that we live in a capitalist society. So at the end of the day, money talk. Okay?
unfortunately.
So money talk. So if you want to make a motherfucker listen, make them start losing money. Period. So, all
Yeah,
right.
hard
All
agree
right,
on that.
Austin, we have talked for an hour and almost 45 minutes. So,
Honestly, I could like go on. I could go on for so
no,
much longer, but it's just like
literally,
yeah.
but I don't think people gonna listen to a 2 hour podcast. So I mean, some people will. Some people will. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely want to.
I don't know if you can watch a 50-hour Quentin review video on like the Golden Girls. Like I think you can spare us a little time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But look, I gotta edit this motherfucker. So
Okay, you know, fair enough. Actually,
but is there anything that you want to shield? Any, last minute announcements? Anything you want to get off your chest before we close this bitch out for the motherfucking day?
honestly, like I don't really have anything to plug. I guess you know, just be good people, right? Like,
Oh,
just remember to be good people.
and even though he not gonna shield himself, follow his motherfucking ass on Twitch. He has the funniest
Oh,
Twitch.
yeah, I'm actually gonna be on hiatus like on Twitch for like a month because I do have a couple of like things coming up that
God damn.
I can't really like divulge into right now. But once the time comes, I'll be
Oh.
able to like share with everyone. So I'm really excited for that.
Oh.
But
Okay. Look, I
yeah,
got shit in the work. Period.
but every other thing is probably going to like remain the same somewhat.
Right. We love that. We love that. Even still, y'all. Like y'all. Look, his shit gonna be linked in the bios of every fucking thing that this will be posted on because while my friends may not shield themselves, I will shield them always because I appreciate my friends for doing shit for me. And so I want to do things for them. All right, y'all. We about to close this motherfucker up for the night. Thank you so much, so much to Mr. auzziejlee for joining us
No,
today.
thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So now I got to do my little shields. Y'all, follow me on all of the social medias. I fucked up last time. It is not at Amani Abyss VT on what, TikTok? No, it's actually just Amani Abyss on TikTok also. But again, everything is in my bio. Please share this motherfucker with your friends, even if you laughed or, got some inspiration or got some good words out of this, just a little bit.
If you want to
Share it
call
with
me
your friends.
cringe, you can do it. It's all good. I promise I won't be offended. I'll probably
Like,
just laugh. I'll probably like your comment too for that.
I'm telling y'all, like I told y'all, we are people that take criticism around here. There is not one person that will be on my podcast that will not know how to take criticism. So if you didn't like something you said or something we said, bitch, say it in the comments. We can have a conversation about it. I don't mind. I
I'm
really don't.
I'm down to like honestly like if I'm like saying anything that's like callous or like insensitive, like feel free to call it out. I don't mean to like come off in like a like defeatist way, but it's just like hey like we can talk about it.
Like literally. So if you didn't like,
I'm okay with that.
but also if you did like it, also share and comment and say what you liked about it. Say that you want Austin to come back because I would love to do more fucking episodes with this man because I love this man and he's great and stuff. So,
Oh, love you, man.
but all right, you all, we about to close up for the night. Have a great evening. Bye.
Yeah, that's about it. See ya.